Hey everyone, welcome to Jason Explains Things. We've got another awesome Overland DIY video for you today on Chris's Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison. It happened.
We did it. We finally did it. So this is AEV Snorkel, or raised air intake. So the idea is here in central Washington, we are on the dry side of the state. It's very dusty. So when you're trail riding out here in groups of more than one vehicle, it can get pretty bad. So that's the idea with this, is to raise the air intake up high so you get colder, cleaner air into the engine when you're on dirt roads like this.
So we're gonna jump back in time to show you everything you're gonna need to know about how to install one of these, and then we'll come back at the end and give you some final thoughts. All right, guys, welcome back to the shop. It is install day on the Colorado, Chris.
Hooray!
We're doing the Snorkel today. We're also doing an awesome CBI bed rack too. So subscribe for that because that's coming up. Final thoughts, Chris, before we start making holes?
I'm very excited. You know me and holes. Let's do it. Let's do it. So not a lot of parts to this. A bunch of tubing. We have, of course, the outside up the A-pillar tubing, snorkel head. This goes in the fender. This is gonna connect inside the fender into the factory air box. Templates, crucial. We're not going crazy, Jason. And then just some random bits and bobs. Not a lot to it, but a lot to it. So let's get to it.
AV has all the tools you're gonna need listed in their installation guide, which doesn't come in the box. You're gonna have to print that out. Beyond the template, you're gonna need some scissors, masking tape, drill, flexible straight edge, center punch, touch-up paint, a 7/8 hole saw, like this guy right here. Also, you're gonna need various drill bits that go through metal. A multi-tool for cutting the giant hole that we're gonna be doing here pretty soon. I'm excited about that. We got lent this awesome battery-powered rivet gun from who?
MQuez 509.
So thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're gonna be all spoiled today with that. Sockets, and then also you're gonna need some Torx bits to take out your wheel well liner. And beyond that, you're also gonna need a jack and jack stand. Oh, and we're gonna be cutting a hole in the engine bay for the larger pipe coming into the airbox. And so I'm gonna try out some of this. I just had this laying around. This is some rubber edge guard stuff to kind of clean that up. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. We'll find out, so will you. All right, that's it. Let's get this install underway. Block your rear wheels, then lift the passenger side of the truck. Secure on a jack stand and remove the front wheel. I did it, you see that? You see how good I am at things? So it begins. Remove the fender liner. On a Colorado, honestly, this is a pain. Lots of Torx screws, push pins, and even some hidden fasteners. Have fun with that. That sucks. There's a screw behind this. Oh, I got leaves.
Oh, leaves.
Wheel well liner, yippee. Next, you'll need to remove the fender flare. Many people just say to pull on it, but don't. From inside the fender, you can use a pair of pliers to squeeze the plastic clips. One more popper right back here, by the way, dudes. Then remove the plastic piece at the base of the fender, as you see me do here. Oh, it slides this way. Hey, and we didn't break it. There's also a piece of fabric noise insulation that you'll also want to remove right now. We forgot to do that until later, but now is a great time. We just filmed the intro.
Jokes.
Jokes.
We like jokes.
There's already holes in this thing anyway. Time to get our cutting template in place. First, trim the template with a pair of scissors along the clearly marked lines. Then carefully line up the template to the body lines and tape in place. That is a big hole, dude.
It's gonna be good. Here we go.
In total, we're gonna be drilling 8 holes. With the template as your guide, mark all 8 with a center punch. Then pre-drill with a 1/16 inch drill bit. Next, use a 3/8 inch drill bit on the 2 holes that will be used to mount the snorkel to the fender. These are clearly marked in the instructions. And now it's time for the main event. mask off the surrounding area. Use a 7/8" hole saw on the remaining 6 holes. These will be connected to create our single giant opening. This freaked us out. So that you can enjoy our pain, here's the remainder of the hole drilling with no music, no fancy editing, raw as it happened.
Ooh, yeah, what is it doing? Ooh, why is it traveling like that? I don't understand why it's doing that.
See, yeah, I think you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, it went to the inside, so I'm happy about that.
That's it. That's it. It's a smiley.
It's so smiley.
Made a smiley. Use a flexible straight edge and Sharpie to draw where to cut, from tangent to tangent on each hole. We also used more masking tape to make it clear where to cut and where not to cut. Okay. Carefully cut out the hole with your tool of choice, whether that be an oscillating tool like we used, cut-off wheel, or air saw. The snorkel's gonna cover that, right?
Yeah, it should.
It is, right?
It will.
No, okay, oh, thank God it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
It's gonna cover it. It's gonna cover it.
I hate you. I feel so bad. This is,
One per truck, that's all you get.
you asked me.
I did.
You asked
I
me.
did. Smile. There it is.
Do it yourself. Clean up the cut with a sander or grinder. Use a deburring tool to remove any jagged edges that remain, and then apply touch-up paint to prevent rust.
Okay, so while that touch-up paint dries, we're gonna go ahead and take the air box out. We're gonna need to loosen up some of the anchors that hold on the fender to kind of pry this fender out so we can fit the tubing through there. So we're gonna get started on that now.
You're not done cutting yet. The intake opening in the engine bay needs to be raised up by about 1 inch. We did this by cutting 2 more holes with a hole saw in the corners and then connecting them with the original opening as you see here. Clean up the cut and apply touch-up paint. Next, the fender needs to be loosened to be able to install the tubes that go behind it from the engine bay to the external part of the snorkel. Remove the 2 bolts at the base of the fender. This bolt holding things in place about halfway up, and the plastic brace that's glued in place. We suggest simply poking the foam with a trim tool to assist in loosening it. One more spot.
It's out.
Just poke holes in this and it'll come apart.
All right, so on the upper tube of the snorkel, we have a brace that's gonna bolt onto the A-pillar. So we're about ready to get started with that. First, we're gonna throw this guy in, we're gonna test fit it, make sure our hole looks good.
Okay, so we wanted to make sure our A-pillar bracket is exactly in the right place. So we put both mounting bolts that go into the main part of the snorkel here from the backside. One's up here, one's down here. Also, now that we have 2 screws in here loosely, we know that our fit is spot on. So now we're just gonna mark where our bracket goes and drill some more holes. We marked the placement of the bracket and double checked by measuring the location per the instructions, 8 7/8 from the top of the fender. With everything looking good, mark your hole locations and center punch, then drill with a 3/16" drill bit. Touch up the paint, and now it's time to rivet the bracket to the A-pillar. We're about to install our A-pillar bracket. Now, the instructions don't say to do this, and other people haven't done it, but I'm kind of imagining that just setting this right against the paint is gonna make the paint wear away over time. So what we're gonna do is install just some ultra black gasket maker just around this area, just so it kind of has a little bit of cushion in between the bracket and the paint. That is cool. That is on there too. Hard parts are all done. Time to button everything up. Next, I cleaned up some excess RTV around the bracket. Then Chris installed the supplied riv nut in the 10mm factory hole inside the fender.
Look at that.
This threaded mounting point will be used to secure the inner tube with this small bracket. Now remove the clipped air intake from the airbox and install the airbox back into the engine bay. Attach the included foam pad to the inner tube like you see here. This will rest against and brace the fender instead of that plastic brace we removed earlier. Now, install the inner tube, clicking into the airbox and attaching to that small bracket with the included hardware. Don't forget the stainless steel clamp and face the screw down so you can have access to it. Now install the exterior portion of the snorkel. First sliding into the inner tube, then attaching the mounting bolts,
Squeeze!
A-pillar bracket bolts, and tightening the clamp.
There she is.
So cool. Nice.
Awesome.
Now we just need to button everything up. Snorkel is now installed. Reinstall the fender, noise insulation, rest of the airbox, wheel liner, and torque your lug nuts. This awesome mod is done.
All right, Chris, final thoughts on our accomplishment.
The install was good. It wasn't too terribly difficult other than just the
Mental?
getting your head in the right state to drill giant holes in your truck. But other than that, it was great. And I'm very happy with it. I think the fit and finish is amazing. No road noise.
None?
Wind noise, I haven't noticed a thing.
And didn't you
So-
say you had slightly better gas mileage?
So yeah, I've done a couple of loops up out of town, up into the hills with this, and have noticed slightly better gas mileage, which for me in this truck, I'm very happy with.
Because it's kind of a ram air intake.
I mean,
now.
essentially, yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool. Well, guys, we got lots of other videos here on the Overland DIY playlist about Chris's truck, also my 4Runner, and maybe something new very soon arriving, like a week. It better show up, gosh darn it.
Yeah.
But no, there's gonna be a lot of awesome stuff coming up here on Jason Explains Things on the Overland DIY playlist. There's gonna be some really cool 4Runner stuff coming up, including a winch bumper, a new suspension system, and all sorts of things. So you're gonna want to definitely like, share, and subscribe, right? Smash it.
There's the thumbs up. Right there.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, everyone, God bless, and don't forget to do yourself. Boom.
Boom, ba, bum,
We're
bum.
done. We're out.